It is day 8. Yahoo! So, gotta get to Trenton. Gotta get to Trenton before 5 o'clock. Because that's when the gate closes at the marina, locking my car in. No pressure. 32 miles or thereabouts. Yeah. It is like 6:40, yeah, around 6:40 right now. So I got some time. About 10 hours. Alrighty then, day 8 from Rowena, Pennsylvania to Trenton, New Jersey. Here we come. Gonna be a big one. Plenty of rapids, mostly class 1, but there's one that's class 2 plus, followed by class 2 minus. There are, I think, 3 wing dams, which do not dam up the entire river, but they dam up partially and cause a chute. So those should be stimulating. But first we have a lot of islands. And the rapids are going to start once we get to the islands. So this may not have been a full dam, but at least funneling the water into that. Maybe this is Tinicum Creek. So I think what we've got going on is there's the canal towpath there, and the steel bridge would be where the canal used to be, but it isn't there now. And the creek goes under it. Treasure Island. I think it's called Treasure Island Outfitters. They run a little campground there, and I think they do rentals as well. But it's kind of more of a glamping experience. They've got nice cabins and I think Adirondack shelters, if I remember right. More expensive than what I'm generally paying for, but and I think you also maybe need to do multiple nights or something like that. So anyway, if you're looking for an island glamping experience, Treasure Island is one of the options. If I were going to do some island camping, I would think about this. Although it would kind of stink if the water rose in the night. A lot of islands are very jungly, and so it's areas like this that flood periodically, that have the trees, but they don't have like the bushes and the undergrowth and all that. So coming to the end of the that section of islands, like 2.5 to 3 miles of islands. So I'm feeling pretty good today. Physically, we're all good. I do have some wear on my hands. Just the webbing is getting sore. But it's taken several days to get there. So I'm feeling fairly positive about that. And it is the last day. Of course, the fact that my inflatable seat pad has deflated is somewhat of an issue, but it does hold air a little bit. Not for all that long. And I've got got my fleece underneath me for a little padding. Abandoned bridge pylons are something you see plenty of on the Connecticut River, but just not very much at all on the Delaware. It's kind of interesting. Lumberville Wing Dam. I mean, it looks pretty innocuous if you do it correctly. If you do it wrong, I'm not sure how innocuous it is. That there does not look good. That's not good. Wave action. They're killing me with these cute little suspension bridges. And apparently just a foot bridge. Oh, it's a cute little thing. Great. How are you? Time to do some work?
Yeah. Inspection.
Yeah. I've seen some of these scaffoldings and thought, I don't know if I'd want to, but, you know. Guess this is the end of Bowles Island. Apparently there's a dam. I got more rapids at the start of an island. It's a familiar pattern. You know, I'm just like a kid stomping in puddles, don't you? Just so long as you know. Wickacheoke Creek. I'm guessing that flowed into the canal, and then there's the overflow dam from there, out of the canal. I'm not entirely sure. So we are coming into Lambertville, New Jersey on our left, and New Hope, Pennsylvania on our right. I've heard they're very nice towns. New Hope has a line or two of houses between the river and the canal, but Lambertville does not. So yeah, at this point there are canals on both sides of the river. The Delaware Canal on the Pennsylvania side and the Delaware and Raritan Canal on the New Jersey side. Or at least there are canal towpaths. The second pair of wing dams of the trip, Wells Falls. So I will stop on the dam and take a look. The guidebook says, if water is flowing over the wing dams, go home. Well, good news is the water is not flowing over the wing dams. Tentatively, the plan is to go through on the left of the chute and then transition to center left, but we will take a look. Should be class 2 plus. There is a class 3 line, which I am not planning to do. Not totally sure that this boat will maneuver fast enough for that. There is a bit of flow, so I want some distance between me and that chute. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of rocks and all that. But, you know, maneuvering between the rocks, that's something to do. But overall, this does not seem very severe to me. Kind of a question of, when you get to here, do you go that way or do you go that way? And I think I'm going that way. That's the right choice. Yeah, so coming close by the wing dam here, down, and then to the right there, and down through, dodging whatever I need to dodge in there. This does not seem that bad to me. But then again, you know, these are not super high flow conditions. It sounds like at higher flows this is a lot crazier. The other option is to portage over this wing dam and go down the channel left of the island. But I am not doing that. Woo-wee! Wells Falls. Slide to center left and then straighten out towards the right. Hopefully I can see what I'm doing. It's always the challenge. I'm in it now. Yeah, I see where it is. That was not the way to do it. Amazing I got away with that. The boat was not straightening out fast enough. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I cannot say that I did a good job of that. My boat just was not maneuvering fast enough. But I got away with it. So there you go. Wells Falls. So roundabout here, give or take, is where George Washington crossed the Delaware. There are state parks on both sides. So we've got a couple of dilapidated old wing dams here with brush on them and all that. And this is Scudder's Falls. We're in the thick of Trenton now. What, New Jersey's Capitol building there? So this is the last hurrah of the Delaware as a flowing river before you get to the tidal estuary. Oh yeah, baby! Whoop. Here comes Trenton's famous bridge. Trenton makes, the world takes. Oh yeah. So crazy. Woo. This is wild. Lots of bridges. Traffic noise subsides. There's a little baseball park over here. So there we go. We're on the tidewaters of Delaware. The flowing river has ended. The tidal estuary has begun. So I have successfully completed the through paddle of the flowing river part of the Delaware. And I have to say that my hands are a bit rough. They're not feeling their best. They'll get better.
And my shoulders are a bit tight. But, mission accomplished. Off to get my van. I'll pick up the boat. It's just down the road. It's my dear van, Goldilocks. Nice to see Goldilocks. Still here and in one piece. And with a strap hanging down, too. Having accomplished my mission on the river, I drove back to Tinicum Park for a second night's stay before heading home the next morning. The Delaware River, just spectacular. The longest free-flowing river east of the Mississippi, about 200 miles. It was a great trip. Kind of wish maybe I had slowed down the itinerary a little bit, gone for less miles a day. But, that's 2020 hindsight. This is a great river. If you like kayak camping and you're capable of Class 2 plus rapids, this is a very good choice. Would I come back? Absolutely. Yeah. So it offers, a variety of different things. So like the Delaware Water Gap area, that's a bit easier. It's definitely more well-traveled as far as kayak and canoe camping goes. And there are the wilderness campsites there. So that's certainly a good place to start. I would say that, the upper river is really spectacular. And really the most difficult few rapids are here on the lower river. Though, there's difficult rapids on the upper as well. So the upper river offers a pretty good selection of campgrounds along the river. It's a little more sparse down in the lower section, but it's certainly doable. And just overall, the privately owned commercial campgrounds, had better facilities and easier access, the ones I went to anyway, than the public park campgrounds, both of which had no showers and a pretty long walk to get there. It's not to say that they weren't nice, but they're also the public park campgrounds that I went to are not used a lot. So it is a 5-hour drive, give or take, for me to get here. Plus then, we had like 4 hours driving from Trenton up to the head of the river, 3.5, 4 hours, something like that. So I did set aside a day at the beginning and a day at the end just for travel, which was a good call. And today is the drive home day. So I'm heading home and stopping to visit a friend on the way. So that should be good. I did stop to visit a friend on the way home, but I suppose you could say that there's more to the story. Kristen and I had been friends many years before, but then we lost touch for 20 years. She had started kayaking on lakes, but she wanted to find someone to teach her to paddle rivers, and she also wanted to try kayak camping. So she joined a Facebook group for kayakers. A month and a half before this trip on the Delaware, we ran into each other in that Facebook group, so we went kayaking together. Before long, it became evident that our friendship had potential. I stopped to visit her on the way home from the Delaware River this day and asked her to be my girlfriend. Our relationship developed, and 1.25 years later, we got married. My paddling buddy Dean was one of my groomsmen. Kristen and I had a lovely honeymoon in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, the headwaters of the Connecticut River, and of course, we did bring our kayaks along.